She's adorable. She's got a neck brace pelt. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just one big solid pelt all around her neck, right? So we're going to put her head in a tiger head. It's the only thing, the only option we have. And then put the body in a lion, and then leave her tail natural. That is her service request, right? She's a new client. So if you go back and read the title of this video, it'll tell you the service request, the type of cat, whether the cat is at natural temperament, or whether the cat is being pre-treated by its owner. And whether it's a new client. And then FT after the Tigon just means full tail, right? So we broke down that title for you. And then we're going to start with the nails. Nothing? She's like, nah. What about back here? Nothing? Are you a quad amputee? Well, that's unusual. It's very unusual that I'll see a quad amputee. Right? She has no nails. Alright, so what I'm going to use is my favorite and most effective and safest pelt removal clipper. This is the safety clipper called the One Is All. That's in the link, themainlion.live. Just scroll down, you'll see the safety clipper. It's on Amazon, 30 bucks. Ironic how the safest clipper I've ever found for pelt removals is not even advertised to groomers. How bizarre. How bizarre. Right? We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Got it. Got it. She's like, no. Yeah, but it was belted. Couldn't save it. I know, it's not your fault. She's like, I didn't get the memo. What memo? The memo. That all cats groom themselves. I didn't get it. Well, whose fault is that? Well, I don't know how to read. I guess not. So it's your mommy's fault? She's like, yeah. Alright. Waka waka. You want a happy hoodie? She's like, what's that? It'll make you happy. She's like, really? Well, I don't know about happy. Well, what's it do? I'll show you. I'll show you. We're almost there, little one. You got this. You got this. Alright, let's try it. This one. Here we go. You go into your princess bed. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's just do the head first. And And then we'll give you your princess pad, okay? She's like, okay. Alright. You're super cute. She's like, I know. I'm a princess. I've never seen a Munchkin princess before. All the Munchkins who've ever come into my salon, they're all boys, right? Yeah. Never seen a female one. She's like, what are you doing now? Working on your tiger head? She's like, I'm gonna be a tiger princess? Sort of. Wow. Okay. Love her colors. She's so pretty. Waka waka. We gotcha. We gotcha. And let's round off her cheeks. There. Let's round her cheeks off. There we go. Get rid of those whiskers. There we go. She's like, that tickles. I know. I bet. What? 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 Here, come here. Let's try this way. Let's try on this side. Well, here at our salon, we groom all cats to high spec and low stress levels. And then we go live and we show you exactly step by step how it's done, right? Because apparently in the pet grooming industry, nobody believes it. So we thought we would go live and show all those MFers, right? How it's done, right? Why am I calling them MFers? Oh, if you only knew. If you only know. Oh, you don't like the happy hoodie? Yeah, it's only about 80% effective, so. It's no longer a technique if it doesn't help make it better, right? Not even a cone? Wow. Okay, let's start with your Brazilian. Get that Brazilian going. Poopy butt. Alright, she's hissed like 3 times now. She'll have to warn me again. So, this is her way of saying I need to stop. She probably just doesn't want me anywhere down here. Because she's embarrassed because it's covered in poop. Right? She's probably just a little embarrassed about that. As a lot of cats would be, right? Alright, I stopped it. I stopped it. Let's try and brush it. Is that allowed? She's like, no, not really. You can go on your princess bed? She's like, yeah. Go on. Go on. You were almost there. There you go. Alright, there we go. Let's get her. You are so welcome. It's not something I hear regularly on a daily basis. The actual word thank you for what it is that I do, right? No, I don't think that word crosses a lot of people's minds. So thank you. Alright, we're gonna get her in her princess bed and do her tricky bits while she slowly loses her mind. She is a munchkin. From what I know about munchkins, which is not a whole lot, they all seem to have an underlying streak of not being happy, right? Yeah. So let's see what happens when we get to our tricky bits, right? We call them tricky bits because they can be quite tricky depending on what cat you're working on, right? She is at natural temperament, so. She was wailing up a storm on her way to the salon. So I did talk to the owner about the 324 pre-treatment, which has been available for 6 years now. That is in the link in my bio, themainlion.live. Just go to the Calming Cat Guide and it'll talk to you about the 324 product. Yeah. It would certainly help her with her travel and also for parts of her grooming because she's not exactly a sweetheart. Her owner is under the illusion that she is a sweetheart and that she has just nothing but sweetness when she's being groomed. Why? Because the owner has never, ever, ever watched the cat being groomed. It's an anomaly to be able to see your cat being groomed, right? So I always encourage people to watch so that they can see for themselves, right? Yeah, so that way we don't leave it to the owner's imagination what's happening. A lot of people want to believe what they think is happening, right? And in some cases, not all cases, I would say about 5% of the time, owners can't handle the truth. They don't want to hear that their cat is not perfect. You might as well be saying their child is retarded, right? They can't handle it. They don't understand it. They take offense by it, right? Yeah, weird. It's a weird phenomenon that does happen, but only with a very small percentage of the public, right? I'll probably just put her in a sound box. She's not getting any better. Let me try on this side. Just use some sound. Yeah, let's use the sound box. Right this way. Alright, at this point we're just going to turn some sound on to try to neutralize her escalation of irritability. Right? Which is escalating as we are on her tricky bits, right? It is normal for a cat to get irritable for the tricky bits, but there are things that you can do to help minimize that, and one of them is this sound that I'm about to turn on. client, so we don't even know if she's even had a bath 9 out of 10 times. Most grooming salons who advertise cat grooming have no actual training for cat grooming, so they're not even going to wash the cat, right? So we don't even know if she has ever had a bath before, right? I may need to keep that sound on. She's already starting to grumble, right? So we're going to have to turn that sound back on. There. Bath test. Alright, we'll start with the bath test first. Whoops. That's not working. two pre-treatments that we recommend. One is for high stress levels and one is for moderate stress levels. She would be for moderate. And that would be the 324 product. That's what I would recommend to the owner. I already did recommend it because the owner told me she was wailing in the car the entire ride here. So. Yeah. We didn't put any of that on, did we? Right, let's get that party started. Let's get that party started. Recommend that you learn how to groom cats at low stress levels, then it's not so fun, is it? Yeah. The little princess Munchkin. She's never been groomed here before. That sound that you hear helps to keep her neutral. She was escalating with irritability. Yeah, she's really pretty. She's really pretty. Alright, and mince. Apologies. Alright, let's try the last quarter. Apologies. And yeah. Apologies. Waka waka. No, 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 no. Bad boys. Last one. No, boys. Waka waka. You did it. And yeah. Yeah. Her eyes are exquisite. You did it. Well done. Alright, wrap her up. Wrap her up. Princess Cookie. Princess Cookie. About the same amount of time as it takes for you to wash your own hair, you bitch. Yeah. About the same exact amount of time. Right? Goddamn bitch. Right. Opening up my chat. You have to be extremely restrictive regarding when it's open and when it needs to be turned off, right? Yeah. For a reason. And the reason is don't poke the goddamn tiger when the tiger is the one grooming the little kitty. Are you idiots? Are you goddamn idiots? Don't poke the tiger, people, when the tiger is grooming the little kitten, right? Stupid idiots. And yes, it's not the kids I'm talking to at this point because the kids are still in school. We're talking about grown-ass adults, right? That's who we're talking to right now. Are the same grown-ass adults who can't keep their pecker in their pants, right? And God only knows what else they can't seem to have any self-control about, right? Back to cat grooming. Back to reality. This is Lula, the Princess Munchkin, with the most exquisite eyes you'll ever see, right? Exquisite. Exquisite. What up? You're free. Freedom. She's adorable. Absolutely adorable. Waka waka. I'm on your tail. Yeah. Don't worry, we'll turn the comment section back on again as soon as she gets put in that dryer box, right? Now my mistake was bringing her back here instead of putting her back in the sound box. Because the sound box keeps her neutral. There you go. There you go. Waka waka. There. Alright. Have at it, people. Comment section is open. There you have it. Alright, she is 2/3 of the way done. She's been pre-cut. Well, 3/4 of the way done. She's been pre-cut, washed. She's in the process of drying. And then the only thing left is her final finishing. So 4 steps. Same 4 steps you would get if you brought your dog in for grooming, right? Everything is exactly the same. Somehow the pet industry has brainwashed all of the cat owners and behaviorally modifying them into thinking that there's only 1 step to their cat's grooming. Yeah. The lying. Oh, you're very welcome. The lying that goes on in the pet industry is sickening. It's absolutely sickening. Yeah. Am I what? Live streaming? Yeah, this is a live streaming platform, the mainlion.live. You'll see 4 or 5 different platforms of where I go live, right? But normally it's on YouTube. Why? Because on YouTube, you have the unique ability to save the entire post and post it in full, right? So that we're creating a library from start to finish on how, because apparently the pet industry doesn't believe that it's even possible for there to be a spa day for cats, right? And that all cats can be groomed to high spec at low stress levels. The pet industry doesn't believe it. So we go live to show otherwise, right? Right? And eventually there will be groomers that come along, including pet owners, who will come along and realize that it is possible. And that they are being lied to, basically. Right? Yeah. Hiding the truth, isn't that a form of lying? In my opinion, that's a form of lying. When you hide the truth, right? I have a poll. I want to take a poll right now, right? This is one of the most bizarre statements I have ever heard coming from a certified cat groomer. You know, someone who's already had training, years of experience, right? Her policy. And I just want to take a poll. I'm not going to be biased. Just want to take a poll. Right? And you're either going to say, I agree or I disagree. 1 is that you agree. Number 2 is you disagree. Right? This is the poll. Type 1 if you agree with this groomer's policy. Type 2 if you disagree with this policy. Right? If your cat bites that cat groomer, you have to pay an additional $100. I'm sorry, but as a cat groomer, you are in complete control over whether you get bit or not. It is not left up to the cat. It is not left up to chance, right? You are in full control as a groomer whether you get bit or not, right? When I went fear-free in 2017, all of the bites stopped. For 8 years, no more cat bites. Why? Because I received further training to understand how to groom cats at low stress levels, right? So, do you agree with that policy? Press 1. Press 2 if you disagree. If your cat bites the cat groomer, you will be charged an extra $100. Let's hear it. I need 10 people to respond to get a full idea regarding how the public feels about that. We've got one person contributing to the poll out of 350 people watching, half of which do not speak English. So technically we have maybe 100 people here. Yeah, but you don't. No, but see, here's the point, people. It's coming from a groomer who is teaching subject matter that is 10 years old, right? I just heard this an hour ago. It's 10 years old what's being taught. Gabapentin surfaced in 2017. That means a cat's not going to bite any groomer if it's pre-treated with GABA from the owner. That's been available for 20 years now, people. It surfaced in 2017. So how do you stop a cat from biting? If the cat is a biter, because this is a repeat client. These are all repeat clients. Her books are probably closed, right? So it's the same clients coming in over and over again, being groomed to the same exact stress levels every single time. There are no changes being made, right? All right, so the general consensus is that the public does not agree. Right, I got that. I just wanted to confirm because that is exactly how I feel about it, right? Because a groomer is in full control over whether they get bit or not, right? What are these? I've got 15 of these, right? I bought 10 of them the day after I got out of the hospital from one of the worst cat bites I ever got in my life, right? That put me in the hospital, $35,000 in a hand surgery, right? 5 days in the hospital, out of work for 2 months, right? The very next day, after I got out of the hospital, I was angry. Why was I angry? Because I was led down a path to believe that cat grooming wasn't as dangerous as I should have been told that it was. Back in the beginning, when I was tutoring under one particular cat grooming organization, they had the balls to teach their students that they've been grooming cats for so long that they're now immune to cat bites. When I told that to my hand surgeon, her mouth dropped open. Just FYI, people. The amount of sugar coating on shit that is happening in the pet industry is disgusting, right? It's disgusting. So you are in full control as a groomer, whether you get bit or not. One of the main reasons you're not going to get bit is when you put a cone on a cat's head, right? The other reason why you probably won't get bit is if you work with cats who are only going up to a certain stress level. If you are pushing a cat too far and too extreme, that is easily preventable with the pre-treatment of GABA by the cat's owner, as recommended probably by their veterinarian, right? Yeah. So that policy is bullshit. Bullshit. Why are you blaming the cat and punishing the owner for your lack of education? Alright, we're going to take her out of there and put her back into the sound box so that we can keep her neutral. That sound will keep her from escalating. Why, thank you. There are two different types of stress. One is at high stress levels and one is at moderate stress levels. Either way, it's stress, right? So 1 out of 4 cat clients is going to be stressed to the point where the levels could be pre-treated by the owner. 75%, which is a very high success rate, 75% of the cat clients who come here are being worked on with their natural temperament. They do not need a pre-treatment because the techniques alone are going to help them stay at low stress levels. But for 1 out of every 4 cat clients, it doesn't matter how much you know, it doesn't matter how much experience you have, it doesn't matter how many certificates are hanging on your damn wall. You cannot groom that cat at low stress levels. So that is the difference between me and them. We have a bottom line to keep all cats at low stress levels. So you saying you shouldn't, no. Every vet I know would be saying, you shouldn't be stressing your cats out. That's what every vet would be saying. You shouldn't be, right? You shouldn't be stressing your cats out. Well, you don't have to, right? When is the pet industry going to get on board with the fact that ever since 2017, there is no cat that needs to be groomed at high stress levels? But it's not being taught, it's not being understood, it's not being accepted, it's actually being rejected by many people in the grooming industry who are poo-pooing the idea. Well, that relates back to the good old days when people used to get sedatives from veterinarians. Every cat groomer knows that sedatives did not do anything to help that cat when it came to grooming. Therefore, it was taught, do not accept cats who are sedated because it doesn't work for grooming, right? That is what that relates back to. The problem is, and the biggest mistake that the pet industry made, was they associated gabapentin with a sedative. And it is not a sedative class medication. That was their first mistake. That was their first misrepresentation of one of the best things to come on the market to help cat owners and cat groomers across the world. But what did they do? They wanted to suppress that information, the pet industry, and the people involved behind the cat grooming industry. They wanted that information suppressed. They don't want you knowing. Why would they not want you knowing? Because it's a multi-million, billion-dollar industry to work with fractious, high-stress cats. That's why. Lots of money involved. All right, back to the conversation. Here's just a few examples of the surcharges. If you're a veterinarian, any anesthesia to put the cat under is about $150. Any Feline is $10 a pill, right? If the cat bites you, that's a $100 surcharge from one cat groomer that I just found out about today. Another cat groomer. If your cat is just aggressive, $200 surcharge on top of the service request that you asked for, right? They all know about gabapentin, all of them. Do you think they even bother to talk about it? Oh, they do, but the way they present it is, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I wouldn't rely on it too much. Don't worry about it, I got you. I'll take care of your cat. I'll groom your cat. That cat hated you when you were done with that grooming, bitch. And you are one of the top cat grooming teachers in this country. That cat hated you when you were done grooming it. She tried to hurt you. She suppressed all of her stress, all of her irritability. She kept herself in check, right? She kept herself in check, the cat. Right? But the minute she went back into the cat carrier, that is the litmus test whether that cat was groomed properly or not. And that cat lost it. And what did the bitch do? She started laughing at the cat. This same bitch teaches do not trust a cat. Well, how about if we do not laugh at cats? Wouldn't that be a better teaching? Do not laugh at the cat? I have had just about enough of this pet industry. I am appalled. I am appalled at the teachings that are going on. Oh, what else is happening to suppress the knowledge that all cats can be groomed at low stress levels? Oh, the idea that you can buy for $600 an aggressive cat grooming syllabus, which will teach you how to groom that aggressive cat for $600 a pop. How many of those were sold to groomers across the country, across the world? How much money was made off of teaching how to force groom an aggressive cat? Doesn't that make a lot more money for that organization than teaching them about a $2 capsule that the owner can give the cat prior to the grooming? Well, that's not going to make them any money. So why would we want them knowing about that? That is the reason it is suppressed, right? It's all about the money, right? It's all about the money. Follow the money. Got enough money coming in, I guess it's easier to just turn a blind eye and look the other way. Why? Because you're just raking the money in, right? Yeah. So you don't say anything. Got it. Alright, we're going to pop her out of there and get her into the dryer box where we'll use sound to finish her. Right? Little princess meow. She's a true little princess Munchkin. Capable of getting a little irritable. Yeah. Yeah. Waka. Waka. Might as well just finish her face up here. Here. Better view. Now, I was using the Monazol because she was fully pelted in this area, but it's just not sitting right. So we're gonna go back and use our blue wave. The holy grail for the reverse lion, right? Yeah. It just gives a much cleaner look afterwards, right? Lock up. And we'll finish this in the sound box. We're just going to get started right out here. Mm-hmm. Sorry for my rant, but I've had just about enough of these bitches in the pet industry. I've had it. They know better, but they choose to ignore it. Or they choose to not believe it, right? Because it suits their, as they say, narrative, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. A little polish. A little polish of that tiger head, little one. Yeah. Not so easy when the cat is moving their head continuously, right? Not so easy to do. Need a wand. Mm-hmm. There we go. Mm-hmm. Like trying to groom moving water, right? Mm-hmm. She's gonna start to get a little annoyed if I don't get her in that box quickly. It's the only thing that seems to keep her neutral. Alright, let's get her in the box. Right this way. Waka 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 waka. We are out of techniques, people. Right? We are out of techniques is what's happening. All right. Yeah, we are out of technique, so we're gonna go old school style. Right? Old school style. Get her done. Get her back in the carrier. Right? All right, back legs. Look at me. Talk to me. Talk to me. No. Talk to me. Not like that. Hmm? Shuji's coming over. He's like, what the hell's her problem? I don't know. He just doesn't want to be groomed. We're out of techniques. Oh, we're done. Right. Any suggestions would be helpful right about now as to how we're going to finish her, right? Now I can replicate the sound box here by turning the ooh on, so we'll try that and try and get her done. You got this. You got this. All right, she's done. Would I do her again at these stress levels? No. No, never again. Right? Her owner is going to be recommended to give her 324, the moderate pre-treatment, right? Not the high stress level pre-treatment, but the moderate one, the all natural one, right? Yeah, and that's going to benefit her trip here. Apparently she was wailing the entire time coming here, right? She's never been here before, but she has good reason to be wailing in a car from past experiences in her cat carrier, right? So it doesn't make for a good setup for a grooming appointment to be wailing in the car the entire ride here, right? That's a really bad way to set your cat up for failure, right? So anyway, thank you so much for joining us. This is Lulu, the Princess Munchkin. I did let the owner know that Munchkin seemed to have an underlying streak, and he was just like, you know, she's perfect, she's great. Yeah, why is he saying that? Because he's never watched his cat being groomed before, that's why. Yeah, that's why, right? That's why. Or the previous groomer skipped 3/4 of the grooming and just cut her down and sent her back home, right? Skip the bath, skip the the drying, skip the final finishing, right? Yeah, that's probably what happened. All right, the cut down of this particular style for most trained groomers, cat groomers, is about 15 minutes, right? Yeah. She started with 15 minutes of downtime with Fellaway first, and then the cut down itself, we had to start here, realize she was escalating, went into the dryer box. We were able to get that done in the dryer box, the pre-cut, pretty much. But everything else, which sometimes will help to calm an irritable cat, like a bath and dry, can help to calm some cats. Water is a technique used for anger and aggression. In her case, it didn't really calm her back down again. It didn't make it better for her, right? So she will be, we will recommend that her owners give her a 324 product 1 hour before they leave the house for any future groomings. It's not a requirement, but it is highly recommended, right? Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.